Good evening. Coming up in Mello TV Evening News. 17-year-old girl who was set on fire en route to burn center in the United States for treatment. Education Minister provides update on teacher resignation as the country prepares for the start of the new school year. And several Island Traffic Authority locations to close temporarily on Thursday. And now the news in detail. 17-year-old Alicia King, who was set on fire while she slept, left Jamaica today for Texas in the United States. Alicia, whose incident is a result of a domestic violence, was carried by air ambulance to the Shiners Burn Center. Robert White, managing director of St. Mary Foundation, encouraged persons to walk away from situations where they are under threat.
It's because of domestic violence. And I ask everyone, just, you see where you're going to fight and get in trouble, get in problem, just walk away. It's the best thing I'm asking you to do. Just walk away and save your life as well as saving someone's life. Just walk away. Because today, here we are, Alicia fighting for her life. You know, fighting for her life. She's 17 years old. She have a bright future ahead of her. And this is the outcome because of domestic violence.
Alicia's brother spoke more on her personality and educational prospects.
Alicia was such a brilliant girl, right? Sweet individual, caring, loving. When she's around you, you just feel at peace, feel comfortable around her, right? She's always helpful, always mannerable. For something like this to happen to her boy, it's very sad, and the family were really hit by this hard.
And I understand that she had just completed her CXCs.
Yes, she
had. You guys collected the results?
Alright, so she did her CXC back then, and on the day to receive the results of the CXC, that was when she got burnt. So I know we have not collected the results as yet. We're totally, all engines were to support Alicia at this moment.
At the same time, he appealed to her boyfriend, who is reported to have carried out the act.
All right, the boyfriend, our ex-boyfriend, personally I don't know the fella, but yeah, listen to this, I will tell you to just turn yourself. Turn yourself, right? This act was a cruel act of many great evil that was done, right? What you did is going to affect her life permanently, right? This is a destructive act, right? And turn yourself in and let justice do its way.
As the country prepares for the start of the new academic year, which is scheduled to commence on Monday, September 4, Minister of Education and Youth Favor Williams today noted that since her previous update on August 18, an additional 400 teachers have submitted their resignations.
So coming into Monday, we saw resignations come in, and if we compare again for the same period, January to September, as of yesterday, the number of resignations, the total would be 854, still a 44% decline from what we saw in the January to September period of 2022.
Minister Williams used the opportunity to remind teachers of their legal requirement as it relates to resignation notice.
There is a legal requirement for teachers who are permanent in the system to give 3 months notice, and for those who hold temporary, acting, or provisional positions to give 1 month's notice. And this is all laid out in Section 54 of the Regulation Act of 1980 that has this requirement for 3 months' notice.
For the period January to September 2022, there were 1,538 resignations, and for a similar period this year, there were 427 resignations. Minister of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport Darrell Voss has announced that a fleet of 300 buses will be introduced at the beginning of the new academic year. This initiative aims to alleviate passenger frustration and reduce wait times. Minister Voss provided updates on the new buses.
You will recall that we had the 50 buses arrive in Jamaica last week, Friday, and I'm pleased to say that we were able to clear them on the weekend, and we are now in the process this morning of licensing them for them to be able to go out for the weekend to the various depots to be available for Monday morning. We were at a runout or a rollout of 140 buses up to a few weeks ago. Obviously, the optimum is about 400 buses, so you can understand the frustrations of the public passenger. The new bus allocation, the Portmore Depot will get 3 34-seater disabled buses, not disabled buses, buses for disabled persons, shall I say. And that is of the new buses. So just to reiterate, it was 50 buses. 5 of the buses are electric for testing. 40 are the CNG, compressed natural gas, which is LNG, and that's 5 45-seaters. And the electric buses are also 45-seaters. And then, of course, 5 buses to facilitate disabled persons, which are also 34 seats from the 45.
The Transport Minister went on to also give details on the repaired buses.
As of right now, based on emergency procurement of spare parts, we have been able to restore and rehabilitate 125 buses, which gives us 265 buses without the 50 new buses. With the 50 new buses, we will have 315 buses on the road for back to school. This obviously will alleviate a lot of the frustration and, of course, the waiting time, which has been up to 2.5 hours for certain routes.
The Island Traffic Authority has announced temporary closures for selected locations on Thursday, August 31, 2023. This closure is intended to facilitate a staff engagement session. The affected areas include the ITA head office on Maxfield Avenue, along with examination depots in St. Thomas, Harborview, Swallowfield, Spanish Town, and Spanish Town Road. During this time, the public is advised to seek assistance at the nearest available depot for urgent matters. For inquiries or concerns, individuals can contact the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport at 876-754-9100, the Ministry's social media pages as well. Normal business activities are set to resume on Friday, September 1, starting at 8:30 a.m. In other news this evening, the police provided an update on the ongoing gang feud in Gregory Park and other areas of Portmore St. Catherine. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey provided the update during a press conference held at the Portmore Police Station today.
For the murder, arson and other criminal acts which led to the destruction of 11 houses in Walker's Avenue on Saturday, August 12, 2023, the following persons have been charged. Nigel McClarty, 24 years old, mechanic of Christian Penn, Gregory Park, Portmore, St. Catherine. Ordained Fowler, O.C. Popcho, 21 years old, an employee of Portmore Villa, Gregory Park, St. Catherine. He was charged with murder, 2 counts, arson, 10 counts, possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and being part of a criminal organization. The police activities, to include the intensified operations and investigation, will continue as we pursue others who are involved in gang activities and other criminal activities in general. It is our intention to work with the Gregory Park community to return it to a state of normalcy. We appeal to all law-abiding citizens to cooperate with us as we aim to rid the communities of Gregory Park and other communities across the country of criminal elements.
In the meantime, 4 persons, which includes a woman, have been arrested in Manchester and more than $2.5 million recovered. DSP Bailey says a high-level investigation led to the arrests, and the police are continuing their investigations into the matter.
I want to point out at this time that I know the nation's attention is now focused on the incident that occurred on Friday in Mandeville, the attack on the beryllium workers who went to transport money from Bank of Nova Scotia, and that attack, which has caused caught national attention. I just want to point out that we are conducting a high-level investigation in that matter, and at this time I can report that we have arrested 4 persons, including a female, and we have recovered so far over 2.5 million Jamaican dollars. The investigation continues as we seek to bring those who are responsible for that act, which I consider is something that is bordering on terrorism. When you can, at that time of the day, without any form of provocation, fire your weapon carelessly, injuring at least 5 people. 2 were seriously injured by that shooting. But we commit, as an organization, the JCF commit ourselves to ensure that this matter is properly investigated, and all those persons who are responsible will be brought to justice.
And the St. Elizabeth Police are being commended this evening for their swift action in recovering a stolen motorcycle, which was stolen by armed men on Tuesday morning in the Junction area of the parish. Acting Superintendent of Police Coleridge Minto gave an update on the incident.
This morning at about 5:30 a.m., a gentleman was on his way to work driving his motorbike. An armed man in a silver Toyota Allian drove up, forced him off the bike, and drove away the bike. The matter was reported to the police, and among other things, intelligence led us to this address, where both the bike and the motor car suspected of being involved in this incident were recovered. The men that were in the vehicle were not seen. The premises is an building that is undergoing construction. But we continue to appeal to the citizens to report the matters as quick as possible to the police. And I want to say thanks to the cooperation of the citizens who assisted us in the recovery of this matter.
The Forestry Department has launched a new rainwater harvesting system with a capacity of 15,000 gallons at its headquarters in St. Andrew. The system was inaugurated during a ceremony by Minister without Portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Matthew Samuda. The minister praised the department's initiative, noting that it has become significantly less dependent on the National Water Commission and encouraged it to further solidify its role in building Jamaica's climate resilience. Chief Executive Officer and Conservator of Forests, Ainsley Henry, highlighted the department's commitment to environmental sustainability and its deliberate efforts to integrate such principles into its operations. The rainwater harvesting system, created in partnership with Instant Safe Conservation Solutions Limited, consists of roof gutters, storage tanks, filtration mechanisms, and a distribution network. This system will fulfill the water needs of the agency's head office nursery in St. Andrew and contribute to reduce reliance on NWC's potable water supply, leading to significant utility bill savings. The $9.1 million investment is expected to pay off within 3 to 4 years. Additionally, the Mount Airy nursery has replaced its outdated underground irrigation structure with a modern sprinkler system. This new system employs modular controls to efficiently water seedling beds, minimize water wastage. The combined rainwater harvesting and advanced irrigation systems are set to increase water storage capacity, reduce wastage, and improve the quality of seedlings production. And those are the stories making the news this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News. I'm Nicole Hales. Stay safe and thanks for watching.